Alright, Shalom. First off, give all praise unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Krokadash, the honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring, and truth and sincerity in women and children who follow. So, I don't know what I'm going to call this lesson as of right now, but, I was just reading and it stuck out to me. So, when you read and, things stick out, that's the Lord speaking to you. Do a lesson on it, talk about it, you know. And this whole chapter is fire. But I don't want to read the whole thing. It's a pretty long read. I'm gonna just get straight to the point and get certain points within the chapter. But like I said, I definitely suggest that brothers go into this chapter and get all the meat off the bone. But this is Second Ezra chapter 7. Um, I'm going. I'm gonna start at 34, but like I said, I'm gonna jump around because I just want to get the point and then go from there. Um, I'm starting at 34. It says, "But judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong, and the work shall follow, and the reward shall be showed, and the good deeds shall be of force, and the wicked deeds bear no rule." Okay, so everybody's gonna get what they deserve, so to speak. Okay, your works are gonna speak for you. If you're doing good, then those goodly works are gonna speak. If you're doing evil, then those evil words are gonna speak. Okay, carrying on, it says, and then said I, Abraham prayed first for the Sodomites, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness. And Yahushua after, I'm talking about Joshua, for Israel in the time of Achan, and Samuel and David for the destruction, and Solomon for them that should come into the sanctuary. Now, I just read that to basically let you know what he's talking about. Or jump down to 42, it says, "And he answered me and said, This present life is not the end, where much glory do abide, therefore they prayed for the weak." Okay, so there was time to pray for, weak niggas at that time, for 2/3 at that time. Okay, but that's not the time that we in. Okay, like the last lesson, man. If you can't get it, we moving on. All right. If you gay in the truth, fuck you. We moving on. You know. If you think you can get tatted up, you know what I'm saying, and stay in the truth, we moving on. All right. If you don't want to obey the orders and the doctrine, man, we moving on. Okay. Why? Now, why is that? Verse 43 says, "But the day of doom should be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality, for to come, wherein corruption is past." Okay, the day of doom. What's that day of doom? It's talking about Jacob's trouble, man. It's talking about a time that never was before, that's on the horizon. All right, because that day of doom, like I said, it's gonna be the end of this time and the beginning of the immortality that comes, man. Like it says, roughly paraphrasing, our bodies are gonna be incorruptible. Everything's gonna be incorruptible. Our corruption is gonna put on incorruption. All right, that's why it's best to lay your treasures in heaven, because this place, it's all corrupted, it's all polluted, it's all vanity. Okay, so put your treasures in somewhere, like the scriptures say, where moth doeth not rust. Okay, um, it says, "Inference is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor oppress him that have gotten a victory." Okay, so we're not going to be in that bad condition in that time, man. That's going to be a time of righteousness, a time for us to rejoice. Okay, nobody's going to be able to hold us down. Oh no, we got to keep on moving. But it says, "I answered then and said, This is my first and my last saying, and it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else when it was given him, to have restrained him from sinning." So basically, Ezra is saying, like, okay, well, why did you let Adam go off? If we, if people are going to get judged here, if this is going to be, this big judgment, or everything's coming to pass like it's supposed to, with the prophecies or whatnot, wouldn't it have been better to just like not have them go off so you wouldn't have to do that? Or wouldn't it have been better to not even made them? You know? But, who knows the Lord's heart? Who knows the Lord's mind? All right? But we had to know the both sides of good and evil, because how can we rule a kingdom in righteousness if we don't recognize both sides, man? The Lord is a just power. He's a balanced power. All right? So because we know what it's like to be down, so when we up, we gonna know not to go off. We know what it's like to be wicked. So when we righteous, we gonna know not to go off. Okay, it says, "For what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment?" All right, it says, "O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For it was thou that sinned. Thou art not fallen alone, but we all that come of thee." Okay, so that's basically our righteousness being filthy rags. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, okay, Yahweh Shai brought us back. Alright? We were purchased with his blood, literally. So that's our consolation prize, so to speak. That's what we get, okay? If we're coming back to this truth, we do get a reward. Alright, and it's gonna speak about that. Okay, it says, "For what profit is it to us if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death?" So what he's saying is, we if our righteousness is filthy rags, then how are we gonna, get this great prize if all of us are pieces of shit? Nobody's gonna get it because we're all pieces of shit. But that's why Yahweh Shai died. That's why Yahweh Shai brought us back, so that our us being pieces of shit can clean ourselves up to be worthy of salvation. And that's our main duty, is to be called worthy of salvation, okay? Giving diligence to make your calling and election sure. All right, that's the main objective. All right, what does it say in Ecclesiastes? I can get it real quick. Y'all bear with me. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. "Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man." All right? Fearing the Most High and keeping his commandments. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we were put here for. All right? That's just do that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's other things that we have to do as men of the Lord. All right, we come into this office. Of course, you have other responsibilities. You have to teach. You have to go on the highways. All right, so on and so forth. But keep the commandments. All right, fear the Most High and keep the commandments. That's the whole duty of man. Okay, let me see where we at. Verse 50, it says, "And there's promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves being most wicked are made vain." It says, "And that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly. And that the glory of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we all walked in the most wicked ways of all." It says, "And there should be shown a paradise whose fruit endure forever, wherein a security and medicine, since we shall not enter into it." It says, "For we have all walked in unpleasant places." We've all been in those unpleasant places. We all come from somewhere. Slacky. We all come from somewhere. We all have a past, okay? But that's what this truth is about. It's about redemption for yourself, man. It's about putting on the new garments, okay, becoming a new man, a new creature. That's what this whole thing is about. Uh, and that the faces of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars, whereas our faces shall be blacker than darkness. It says, for while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. And that's how the world is, okay? Ezra is coming from a spot where, like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. This is, you know, niggas is sinning and not caring, not, you know, which that's what the world does. But that's also the difference between the 1/3 and the 2/3. The 1/3 actually cares. All right, if they go off, if they make a mistake, if things aren't going right for them, they fix it. All right, but the 2/3, they just wallow in their own sin. They think not. What it says, she wiping her mouth as she has done nothing. That's what our nation does. That's what we do as a people. Unfortunately. Let me see. It's a good place to stop. Oh yeah. So matter of fact, this is what I'm actually call the lesson. It says verse 57. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the things that I say. For this for this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lives, saying, choose thee life, but that thou mayest live. Okay? This is the condition of the battle. Alright, these are the terms. We are in a spiritual warfare right now. These are the conditions of the battle. You're gonna be tempted. Okay? You're gonna have women that want to draw you off. The world's gonna want to pull you back in. TV's bringing you down. All right, music is bringing you down. Everything is pulling and tugging at you. The world, your family, your kids, everything is pulling and tugging at you. But you gotta stay on that steady road, man. You gotta stay on this, like I said, on this redemption arc to make your calling of election sure. You were a piece of shit, and now you're trying to become fine gold. All right, you don't go from shit to sugar, in 2 weeks. All right, it's a process that you have to go through. All right, so this is the process that we're on, and Lord willing, we all get the victory. Oh, Slaki, all the sincere Akim get the victory, because that's what we're here for, man. We're doing this for the elect's sake. All right, for the sincere men who sigh and cry for the abominations that are done therein. All right, so with that being said, like this whole chapter is fire, man. I really wish I could have went into more, but for time's sake, and just go ahead and get it yourself, man. With that being said, call law to Yahweh Shemel Shai by Shema Karkadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and women and children who follow. Shalom.